Welcome back to PCM Yeti episode 52. We continue on with Qinghai race, a race in which we've got 5 riders placed in the top 18, including a comfortable overall lead. But we've had a real mixed bag of some riders with good race day condition and other riders with truly atrocious condition. Well, today is definitely that again. It's a -5 draw for Zhu, who's down to a +2 on his expected as he's at the tail end of his fitness peak. But he's got a -3 today, so -5 draw, literally as bad as it can get. As we keep the breakaway in check, I think we can back off a little bit here with Gottstein and hope that somebody else will step up. So it's out to over 2 minutes. We've got the only climb of the day, and this is the final punchy stage of this tour. All we have to do is navigate this climb. Everybody can get fully recovered on the descent, and then you've just got this long, slow, gentle uphill all the way to the finish line for what ultimately will be a sprint. If we can keep the breakaway in check, which the breakaway, all 5 of those riders have a very significant deficit, so they're not a threat to the overall anyway. So Gottstein really can back off a little bit here and hopefully get these other riders to participate. The climb was easy. Gottstein easily handled the entire thing himself and allowed the gap to open up a little bit, but then he pulled it back by speeding up just a hair. Ultimately, by the time we finish the climb and the descent, it's a 3-minute gap, and Gottstein is still doing nearly all of the work without riding too hard. We've got one other team that's very interested, but they're just not pushing at this stage, but we've only just gone under 100k. For now, it's comfortably in check, so we'll continue as is for a while. Speed up began at about 85k. They almost pulled it out to 4 minutes pretty quickly, and then we started speeding up, and this other team is getting 1 or 2 riders at a time that are at least contributing, so Gottstein's not having to work too hard, and we still seem to have things firmly under control. In fact, the gap's already back down to 315 now. 70k left to go, and I've only got 1 rider that's getting sacrificed at this stage. Looking like a pretty easy day in the end, back down to 3 minutes now. Now at 2.5 minutes, this other team is working even harder than we are. We're staying in the line and taking very, very short turns here and there, but with 50k to go, looks like this other team's looking for the stage, and I'm not too worried. I think the minimum gap we had to any of those riders was about 5 minutes, 6 minutes behind in the overall, so completely out of contention, and a minute 44, not a threat at all. In fact, I think we can kind of sit on just as long as the gap doesn't go back out, and it's not. Without us contributing, it's fine. The other teams have it under control. 1.5-minute gap, 33k to go. We will be setting up a sprint train before too long with everyone in it. Problem though is that Shaw, Zhu all have a negative race day condition. Abdullah and Cheng really don't offer much pace. Cheng's pace is 70 today. He's got a 72 sprint. We're not going to probably contend today, but the big key is not losing time and still being in control of the overall lead. As we head under the 10k banner, I've just formed up my train. They're going to start to pull out. Being that it's a punchy stage, the other teams are not setting up sprint trains like they would normally, and this has given us a real advantage on this stage that we wouldn't have otherwise, as we reel in the breakaway. Now has 7.8k left. Cheng, go ahead and continue on. Cheng, even though he's got a little bit of speed and has that +5 today, he's still going to be doing the dirty work because he's 112th overall, and we are fighting for the GC. So as we go down to 6k, let's get everyone to gel up, and let's get on with our maximum pace. Gottstein might lose time today, but he's the other one. It really didn't matter. 4.5k. I think we're going to start early sprinting on this one. Altingaro, soft sprint. Abdullah to take over, 3.5k out. And we are doing a little bit of damage, amazingly. 29 riders, we split the field. It is classified punchy, so it would not be completely surprising if we had somehow... Oh, we've split the field, front 8. And Zhu to take off. We've let out some other guys. He's probably only competing for a top 3 at this point. Yeah, there you go. Malesi has waited. Nope, not competing for a top 3. But have we broken off some riders and cost them some time? I would love to see if we have managed to do that. 6th on the stage. All the key guys are well placed. Possible split there. Half a bike length behind Chain. Definitely a gap. We'll see if they give it. And then there's the next grouping. And the gaps have been given. So we've got front group 26 riders on same time. And then 40 seconds to the guy who was supposed to be the favorite for the stage. 49 to the chase group. 120 to the other group. Gottstein the only one among those losing time, and that is definitely going to help put us in a better position. Zhu leads. Stewart is now 2nd overall, gaining some time today. Shaw is 6th. Abdullah is 7th. Pickrell and Altengerl still there, well placed. And we've got 24 riders now. A few of these guys definitely moving up in time and others losing time. You can see that there's at least a few riders here at the top that lost a big chunk of time. Shaw, 6th place overall, has crashed out. That sucks. We're losing him to injury and losing a lead out rider. Losing the points. That's all a big loss. Today, though, besides that incident, has been a very easy day. We've got 46 kilometers left, and we have not had to work at all. Now that the circumstances have changed, it was a hard day to form a break. There was a few teams interested in controlling the race, and they have controlled the race. They just now brought the breakaway back in. We've got 28K left. It's going to be a regular sprint stage, largely downhill. It's a -4 draw for Zhu today. His expected has dropped yet another point, now to a +1. So not great, and we're all over the place again. Shaw had a -3, I think. Zhu had a -3, Pickrell's got a -4, so all the fast guys looking really, really poor today. So as we go over the final hill of the day, we are still well positioned and well in control, but we're going to wait till late and just try to have a go. I don't have good expectations for the team today, but with 8.8K, at least we're not going to lose time other than to up for 2nd and 3rd place. And off we go, trying to get in control here before it's too late. 99s, it's only 8K, so getting out front's going to be important.
Apparently, there's another puncture.
And Gottstein is doing enough to get us there. 6K, so gels for everyone. Definitely not running any risk of anyone losing time today. In fact, we're in a position where we might even sprint early. We're at 4.5K. Gottstein done. 3.5K, yep. Soft sprint. A little bit harder sprint. We're starting to get swarmed in. Abdullah, full sprint, 2.2K. Altengerl lost his wheel. Altengerl needs to sprint. Pickrell needs to sprint. Into the final kilometers. Zhu, can he get through the crowd? He cannot get through the crowd. Pickrell's much better placed. Altengerl is much better placed. Altengerl gets 3rd. Pickrell gets 4th. So we gain a few seconds for Altengerl. He was in the mix in that small remaining group on same time, so it's going to bump him up into the top 7 or so. So with 3 sprint stages remaining, Zhu still leads and by nearly half a minute, but Altengerl jumps to 6th place now at 34 down. Abdullah is still 7th. Pickrell moves up a little bit with a higher average finish than others, up to 10th. So 4 riders in the top 10. It's no longer 5 in the top 20, but I'll take 4 in the top 10. Shaw hopefully is not too badly injured and will return to the team before too long, so we can use him to help us score points down the stretch. Figures. I think in 6 stages we've had 1 stage with a decent race day condition. Overall, as a team, we've had a lot of days where things just weren't panning out. Like another day with a -3 draw for Zhu. He's on a -5, a -4, and a -3 in the last 3 days after having a good start early on. Overall, as a team, we've got another fitness peak now. The weather is better today. Some of the morale is better today. The expected was a +13, and we are nowhere near that with just +7. It's been one thing after another. Likewise, I need to get, you know what, let's get Chang involved in this. There's quite a few riders off the front right now. We've got to see what if anyone is a threat in this group, and nobody in the first group. We got 7 minutes down, 8 minutes almost. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine with those riders being the ones away. Big, hefty first climb on this one, but then ultimately it should come down to a sprint. Not even halfway up the climb, and Zhu has really drifted back a lot. He's almost outside of the group. He's going to have to climb a lot harder, a lot faster. 19K to go on this climb. Front group only a minute 47 ahead, so looking pretty good on that part. With less tempo. Yeah, we're hanging in there. Hanging in there much better now. But still, 15K to go. Big climb, long climb, just got to manage it well. Chang is pulling riders back, even though he's only on 59 mountain with big negatives today.
The pack's deficit is being
Down to
cut
6
back.
at the front, minute and a half. Chang, we're going to back off a little bit more, let those guys pull away. I'm not worried about them, it's about managing what's going on here. Starting to get a few team members comfortably into position now, especially with that less of a pace, and everybody's up here. So the main thing at this point is that front 6 has opened the gap up a little bit. 20 seconds further up the road, we're down to 6K. Chang is very balanced on his effort. He's doing all 100% of the work. So everybody else is pretty okay. In fact, we're seeing recovery from everyone but Zhu and Pickerel. Everybody else is actually recovering their energy as Chang's pace is not bad. As we approach the top 2K to go, Chang getting a little bit more tired, a little bit more weak. One of those front riders broke off and fell back from the group, and actually they ended up in kind of ones and twos, and we've made it over the top successfully. 168K left to go. Still another climb though on the way. Chang sharing the workload just a little bit as we quickly head towards that next climb. At least with a little bit of support. The gaps come out somewhat as we haven't been pushing, but Chang has actually managed to recover a bit through all of this. 4 minutes the deficit, and we seem to be already starting to pull that back, just riding that little bit harder. A 66 for Chang now. With the attack at the top of the climb, it opened it up a little bit further, but that's already starting to come back, and other teams have stepped up to support. 100K to go. Things look well and truly under control, and we're on our way to another sprint finish. Inside 40K, and things are under control. The first rider from the front 6 has fallen off and ended up back in the peloton, down to a front 5, also down to a minute and a half advantage, and Chang only taking the occasional turn, getting support with others. He's going to be done pretty soon. Some of those other chases are going to be done soon, but with a 1 minute advantage, we're definitely headed towards that sprint here shortly. Good little descent to come, so it might lead to some recovery, but it definitely won't lead to that group staying away. They are only a matter of time. Chang is done. Will he get any recovery with the descent? No, not really. 18K to go. Downhill, I think we're going to have to make an effort to get out a little bit earlier this time. I won't wait till the final 10K, but we'll probably take it at about 12. Especially with 2 riders less, Chang out of energy and Shaw injured. Inside 10K with that slight downhill, that energy lasts that little bit longer. Okay, 4.7. Altengarel take over. Took me a little bit longer than I should have waited on that one. 3.5K. 3K, starting our sprint. Altengarel. Oh, he gets blocked off. And then Pickerel gets caught in between. Altengarel finds a way to get through it. Zhu does not have a path to get forward. I can't get him through. Zhu doesn't get through, but Pickerel might hang on for 3rd or 4th. Oh, it's 5th. Yeah, sure. There's not even... I guess there was one more guy up there. That's okay. That's okay. Right, 3rd day in a row with a negative race day condition for Zhu. Plenty of guys in and around the top 10, and of course that GC part. It's a -5 draw on an expected +12. So it's a -17 with just 6 riders. We're averaging a -3 draw today per rider. And 6 out of 7 stages have overall, as a team, been a net negative. for the first couple of those stages, they weren't far off from neutral, but all of the recent stages have been awful. Zhu, again, another -4 today. 4 days in a row of a -3 or worse. We'll be lucky to not lose time, especially when we've got a fast, steep climb coming and it's an aggressive, short stage. Fortunately, the field did back off a little bit. There's a lot of teams controlling things today, which has saved me some trouble. It allows me to keep Chang. It allows me to keep Gostin in domestique roles, protecting, as opposed to having to chase down a breakaway. So I'm grateful for that part. The only positive race day condition today is Gotstein at a +5. Like, the least important guy gets the only good race day condition. So we'll be lucky to make sure we don't lose any time on this one. We still have a healthy enough advantage for Zhu. 26 seconds ahead of Stewart means, you know, we're pretty good on that front as we go and hit the climb. The breakaway has already been caught, and I think we're going to have to step this up to about an 80 for now. 6K to go on the climb. Pick roll, Altingaro not taking a very great line, but Zhu's at least in that strong position near the front. Everybody hanging in there. Nobody's attacking. 3.8K. Looks like the sprint teams are prepared to let this go down to a sprint. 43K to go. Big descent on this one, so you're going to want to, like the last stage, form up that little bit earlier as we finally get an attack for the KOM, just before the top. Weighing is second, just 1 point behind Wu. And we're over the top of that. So 37K to go on our way towards the finish. We got a crash that just split the field, and Zhu, who was just a few spots back, is part of the split. We're going to have to chase. So we were not poorly positioned. I mean, we were in a pretty standard spot. Zhu over the little climb for the Cat 3 with an 89 effort. Not a great climber. So he drifted back a handful of bike lengths is all. But again, he's got, you know, a -3. He's a 55 mountain. So we are going to follow Altingaro and Gotstein. Okay, yeah, he's in a good spot. Okay, 99 effort from here. Got to chase 14K. Should probably have the other guys come back, or who can come back. Pick rolls top 10. Abdullah is top 10. We'll have those two stay put. I'm gonna have Chang wait, and all of a sudden it's 40 seconds. 40 seconds, just like that. That happened awfully quick. 10K to go. Brought it back by about 5 seconds so far, and Gotstein's just not very quick. Guys are overtaking him. 8.4K. 36 seconds now. And those front two guys aren't fast. 7K. Okay, let's move on to Chang. Gotstein is so... 75. Like, how is he that weak? Sprinting. Chang. Sprinting. Come on. Pull it up. Back together for a moment. For a moment, but a few riders intentionally set up to reopen the gap. Altingaro, 2.5. Front two sprint. Almost forgot about them. 1.2. Zhu sprint early. Come on, you got to bridge that gap. This is so unfair. It's a sprint stage. It's a sprint stage. These gaps are never ever given, but you got to believe it's going to be given today. Pickroll and Abdullah helping set that gap back there. We're 19 seconds down. A crash in the field may have just cost us this race. No gap given. No gap given. Sprint stage comes through as a sprint stage does, you know, in real life. That was more than 3K out. That would have been given. We luck out. Eleno is now second, just 18 seconds down, but there's only one stage left. So as long as there is no time loss, there's no time gain that can take the win away from us. But Altingaro is up to fourth. There are some riders that lost time. There are riders that lost time in the front field. A good chunk of time. So it's down to 21. Bystrom obviously dropped a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, 4 riders in the top 7. Great spot to be. Abdullah and Pickroll, though, still stand to drop. We've got to make sure they finish well. Final stage, breakaway. Like, nobody else wants to chase today. Now's a good time to make sure that there isn't anybody threatening to GC. You got a couple guys at 7, 8 minutes, 6 minutes, 2. Ooh. Okay, so we do need some work. There are some kind of GC threats out there today. And at 4:49, Chang's going to have to start working harder, and we're going to have to get Gottstein on it. In fact, I think we're going to get Gottstein on it now at about a 69, and then let's get Chang to protect Pickrell for the time being. So Gottstein to take over. It's 103k, plenty of time, but if nobody else is going to work, right, we're going to have to inch away at that ourselves. And we seem to maybe be doing that now. Yeah, just about. It's coming down. The effort is not allowing Chang to recover, though. So we are having the team under some pressure. The gap just over 4 minutes. It's okay if they win the stage. We just can't let them win by more than 2 minutes. And finally, another team decides that they want to help. And they bring riders forward. Okay. Switching back to Chang. Gap's actually gone back out a little bit. It's out to 250. So things are not yet under total control with 40k to go, but there's a lot of teams ready to actually chase now. So I do feel like it's going to continue going in the right direction. Given a little more time, they've just kind of put the last of their effort into staying away for the time being. And yeah, now it's down to 206. And big, heavy-handed chase now. And I've got guys going backwards because the effort is so high. Minute 45. In the healthy zone. It's under that 2 minutes now. Down to a minute and a half. Both Gottstein, though, and Chang will not have anything to offer for the final sprint, which means I only have 4 guys for that, which it's probably not a good day for us when it comes to the potential of a sprint. But Zhu has a 0. It's a -1 draw for him is all. What a step in the right direction. Like Abdullah has a -5 draw. It's still not a good draw overall. It's still not what was expected, but it's closer. 1 front rider's been dropped back to the peloton. Now a minute 20. 15k to go. Sprint trains are formed for others, but we're going to have to hold out till really the final 10k. Already down to 7k as we try to find our way through the field. Abdullah, he's not going to have enough to sprint with, but he'll get a little bit of recovery in, I think. Altengarel, give me a 97. Let's get Abdullah to recover that little bit. Remember, their position matters as well. Zhu doesn't necessarily need to be the guy we ride for on a day like this, but he's actually got a little chance. There's that breakaway caught, 3.7. Okay, up to full speed. And Altengarel is going to soft sprint now. 2k, too late to gel for Pickrell. Okay, Altengarel, Pickrell, start your sprint. Zhu, start your sprint. Kind of technical through here. Can we get through for a top 3? Zhu comes through. I think he's got the top 3. No. Savikin and Yang both beat him there. Didn't look like he was side by side with Savikin, but I thought he was going to beat him to the line. He doesn't. He gets 5th. But there's the confirmation. All 4 finishing in the top 7, including the overall victory for Zhu, Altengarel, Abdullah, and Pickrell, all scoring good points. For Shaw, 2-month injury for him. That'll keep him out. Fractured something. But that'll be a good haul of points for the team for that battle for the top 2 Continental Pro spots. Zhu alone picked up 293 points for Qinghai. That's his best overall result and brings him up to 2nd on the team, ahead of Hagland even. As a team, though, it did move us ahead of Intermarché. We went from a couple 100 points behind to almost 400 points ahead, so we picked up a good 600 points for that race. Actually, no. We picked up some of our points from Yeti and the national championships, which he claimed 1 of for San Marino. He got 2nd in the other race, but that was 130 points right there. But that's still a good 450 points for a 2 pro race, and that was enough to bring us up to second for the time being. And look how the race has reshaped. The top 10 is all World Tour teams. Top 13 is all World Tour teams. But then now we have a 14, 15, 16 head-to-head race. We are just 100 points behind RKF for number 1 in those Continental Pro rankings. But of course, there is that other factor that's going to come to play in August, and that is the team index and who's going to make World Tour next year and who's going to fall out of World Tour. That could impact things as well. Like if EF lost their World Tour spot, we would be faced head-to-head with them, and that would suddenly make us third. If Arkea gains a spot for World Tour, we wouldn't be head-to-head with them any longer. So things to consider. Back up to second place for now, and we had a pretty big gap not long ago. I mean, Samrook was who we were up against 2-3 weeks ago, and we've jumped by 1,500 points in just that span of time. So great stretch for us. We're in a much stronger position than prior. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.